A new giant airship for the transport of heavy freight. The digital mapping technology that records vast areas in unprecedented detail. And the launch of a very distinctive sports racer. Over the past 2 years, cartographers working at the British Ordnance Survey Mapping Agency have been compiling a new digital map of the United Kingdom. The new map locates every building and field in the country, rendering detail as fine as railway signal lights and post boxes. The OS Master Map is made up of approximately 400 million pieces of information, each one coded with a unique 16-digit reference number, making specific features easy and quick to locate. Users can also search specific areas of data such as houses, railways, roads, paths and heritage sites. The digital map allows instant fingertip access. The Ordnance Survey has over 200 years of mapping experience. OS Master Map is offered in a number of paper and digital formats. Updates to the map are regularly posted on the internet with all information current. A giant hangar has just been completed at an old Russian military airport in Briesenbrand, 60 kilometres south of Berlin. It's the home base for the Cargo Lifter, an ambitious new type of aircraft that's still in development. It is the world's largest freestanding hangar, just big enough to fit the proposed semi-rigid airship. The Cargo Lifter project has entered a new developmental phase with the unveiling of the CL-75 air crane. It is the largest lighter-than-air balloon and is being used to gain information about the ballast exchange system that lies at the heart of the Cargo Lifter concept. The history of the Cargo Lifter project has seen several different test craft. Joey is 1/8 the size of the final airship. It is being used as a test bed for various structural materials and to verify flight performance. The entire approval procedure will be carried out using this model. It's been named Joey after the baby kangaroo. Just as the young marsupial can fit into its mother's pouch, Joey, at a length of 32 metres, is still small enough to fit into the cargo bay of the final cargo transporter, the CL-160. The test airship means design specialists can verify calculations and the overall concept during a program of proving flights. The major hangar complex at Brand makes Joey look quite small. Around 60 airships the size of Joey could fit into the giant facility. Work on the small airship began in 1997 with a team led by Dr. Ingolf Schaefer. The first structural components were developed and tested at the Faculty for Aerospace Technology at Stuttgart University. It was not until 1999 that the team put the finishing touches on Joey at the small airship hangar at the Brand complex, built especially for the craft. Electrical tests at the University of Cottbus. Lightning protection is a core issue and is more critical to an airship than icing or severe weather. Flight tests with the CL-75, the biggest flying device in aviation today. Designed as a technical demonstrator for the load exchange procedure, engineers had to be certain that the results of computer modelling could be borne out in reality. The load exchange procedure is crucial to the success of the Cargo Lifter concept. For an airship to be able to pick up and deliver heavy loads, a system of weight equalisation had to be developed. Before the tests could begin, the giant balloon was towed from the hangar by trucks. Initial tests had been carried out inside the hangar, with the whole mass of the craft and its cargo being able to be moved with fingertip pressure. Outside, even the slightest wind on such a massive profile would be difficult to counteract, so trucks were used to manoeuvre the air crane and its load. Water is pumped from the craft's ballast tanks via hoses when it is taking on a load. When the cargo is unloaded, the tanks are filled again. The total weight and therefore the flight properties of the balloon remain the same. The ballast exchange procedure of the CL-75 air crane and the CL-160 transportation airship works according to the same principle. The CL-75 transport balloon lifted a load weighing 24 tonnes to a height of 7 metres. With the successful trial, the team proved that the ballast exchange procedure worked and worked well. Their computer simulations had given an accurate picture of the system. In the coming weeks, the CL-75 will be subjected to further outdoor testing. This will provide valuable data which will be used in the production of the Cargo Lifter 160. The load exchange procedure will be verified in wind speeds up to Beaufort 5, the limit for cranes on a construction site. Ground infrastructure will be minimal. Officials are confident that the ballast exchange system will continue to work smoothly. Work on the giant CL-160 has already commenced. It is scheduled to make its first flight in around 12 months. The craft will achieve its lift from 550,000 cubic metres of helium. Because helium is inert, there will be none of the fire risks that ended the use of hydrogen-filled airships in the 1930s. It will be able to carry payloads weighing up to 160 metric tonnes over a range as great as 10,000 kilometres. The Cargo Lifter 160 will be a keeled or semi-rigid airship. The large helium-filled envelope is not stretched over a rigid frame. It maintains its shape solely by the pressure of the helium it contains. A keel is attached to the bottom of the envelope, which takes on freight and distributes the weight of the payload along the entire length of the craft. Components like the engines, fuel tanks, flight deck and crew cabin are integrated into the keel. The key advantage of an airship transport system will be its ability to operate as a flying crane. The CL-160 won't have to land to load and unload freight. Transportation of large goods will be possible without a well-developed infrastructure on the ground. The airship's load frame nestles within the keel. During the loading phase, while the airship hovers about 100 metres, the loading frame is lowered to the ground using winches also installed in the keel. To keep the craft stable during loading, 4 guide cables will anchor it to the ground. It's this point-to-point capability that makes the new transportation system so attractive. Often, though the movement of heavy manufactured goods can be made economically via sea, the final stage of transportation to a remote location, such as a hydroelectric power plant, can inflate transportation costs. With the advent of the CL-160, oversized goods will be able to be delivered to almost any point on the globe without the need for bridges, roads, runways or complex unloading facilities. The cargo lifter will be propelled by 4 turbine engines with 12 smaller engines used for manoeuvring the giant airship. It will be able to cruise at a speed of 90 kilometres per hour and will cover 10,000 kilometres before it needs refuelling. By increasing transport efficiency, whole branches of the manufacturing industry will experience an increase in their global competitive ability. The company plans to build about 4 airships per year beginning in 2004. The ships will be manufactured in Brann, Germany, and in a second plant in New Bern, North Carolina, which will be completed by 2005. Cargo Lifter hopes to have its first airship finished within a year, with a multi-ship fleet in the air 2 years after that. A new Morgan sports car has just been launched and it's been tailored for the racetrack. It features a 4.4-litre BMW V8 engine and a 6-speed sequential gearbox. The new GTN has already been approved for the Le Mans 24-hour race. It's the first production competition model to have been built by Morgan and is delivered fully race-prepared. Managing Director of the independent British car company, Charles Morgan, has nothing but praise for the team that designed and built the new model. One of the strongest aspects of the new vehicle's design brief was that it should be a dynamic driver's car. Morgan makes around 700 custom-built road cars a year. The racing model has a stronger chassis than the Aero 8 road car. It also has a stronger price tag, around £180,000.
Reverse. 0, 7, 0. Last time, Delta V total. Okay, I'm steering total at 3-4. Vigo X.
Able to fly from airport runways directly into Earth's orbit and be able to withstand up to 3,000 degrees, the Aero space plane is a vision of the future in aeronautics and space technology. NASA and the US Department of Defense are co-sponsoring a unique cooperative effort among aerospace companies to design and develop the airframe materials and systems for the American aerospace plane. The aerospace plane follows in the footsteps of a distinguished series of experimental aircraft that overcame many obstacles. Beginning with the Bell X-1, Chuck Yeager's historic flight broke the sound barrier. In the 60s, the X-15 flew at 7 times the speed of sound. More recently, the X-29, with its sophisticated forward-swept wing design, proved advanced materials and computer-aided controls yield unmatched manoeuvrability. When the next experimental plane, the X-30, becomes a reality, it will harness a set of ramjets, scramjets, and finally rocket propulsion to fly directly into Earth's orbit. The promise of low-cost access to space has also spurred the Europeans and Japanese to begin working on their own versions of the spaceplane. While the interest in creating such a technology is very high, it presents unique and even daunting challenges. No existing plane or wind tunnel can duplicate the 28,000 kilometres per hour the X-30 will attain. Computer models are being used to simulate the shock waves and heat the X-30 will encounter as it roars through Earth's atmosphere at nearly 30 times faster than a jet airliner. Materials for the plane must meet rival needs of strength, lightness and ability to withstand the searing heat of re-entry. Unlike previous designs resembling Concorde, the new X-30's wide fuselage provides much of the plane's lift and reduces wingspan requirements. A wide nose directs airflow into the plane's air-breathing ramjet and scramjet engines. Dual vertical tails have been added for greater stability at all speeds. Much developmental work lies ahead, but ultimately the aerospace plane promises affordable, efficient and flexible access to space in the 21st century. A secluded mansion southwest of London. There's little to disturb the tranquility here, least of all these almost silent electric cars. It looks like a child's paradise, but in reality it's a serious business worth millions of dollars. The Frazer-Nash Motor Company built these electric vehicles incorporating the very latest technology. They have a revolutionary electronic drivetrain which enables currently available battery technology to be used with incredible efficiency. Thanks to a mini computer over each wheel, the cars can handle the roughest terrain with ease. This vehicle has a top speed of 70 kilometres per hour and driving is a breeze, using 2 pedals, one to go and one to stop. The new breed of electric car can easily handle steep inclines. Frazer-Nash already exports this people carrier, the Solar Baby, to Asia, where it's proving extremely popular. There are a number of vehicles being developed, like this electrically powered general-purpose motorcycle. There's even a go-kart with electrifying performance. The workshops where the glass fibre models are fabricated. The company has been in the vanguard of automotive engineering since the 1920s, when Archibald Frazer-Nash was well known for his sports car designs. The growing popularity of the environmentally friendly style vehicle has meant expansion plans for the company. What will probably be the world's quietest test track is being constructed. And in Japan, the country's third largest toy maker, Takara, has unveiled 2 electric cars. They may look toy-like, but you still need a license to drive these battery-powered vehicles on the road. The company plans to market the 2 single-seater electric cars widely. The 2010 model, with a maximum speed of 60 kilometres per hour, will be priced around $7,500 US. The car's battery can be charged from an ordinary electric socket and has an 80-kilometre range. Takara says it's targeting not just young men and women, but also the elderly. The company has had so much success with its range of toy cars, it decided there must be a market for adult versions. Degi Q has been a mega hit recently, and Choro Q has been popular for a long time. The toy's long-term fans are now adults, and research showed there was interest in a drivable version for the more mature market. The cars are part of the company's successful strategy to develop toys for adults. Other products include karaoke systems for the home, robots that can open beer cans, and remote-controlled cars targeted at young men. Whether or not the company's leap from miniature to full-size vehicles will continue the company's success is yet to be seen, but the fact that the new cars are being sold as fun toys rather than serious transport may mean the products can find a different market niche. Takara has set a modest sales target of 1,000 units in its first year, and the company maintains that the vehicles will be profitable. Although electric vehicles are eco-friendly, their limited range and slow recharging times has meant that the Japanese market has been slow to adopt them. United States military experts are continuing their training programs for Georgian pilots at a military base outside the nation's capital, Tbilisi. Recently, Washington announced it was sending up to 200 elite Special Forces troops to help train and equip Georgia's army to cope with militants in a gorge near the mountain border with Russia. With modern defence forces so reliant upon finely tuned electronics and high-tech hardware, it's nothing new for American military advisors to assist friendly nations acquire technical expertise. Georgia is an extremely mountainous country, and guerrilla forces are able to take refuge in the many steep valleys of the border region. Helicopters provide a quick and reliable way for military observers to cover vast stretches of rugged terrain and to rapidly deploy soldiers to remote areas. But new technologies such as night vision equipment not only require technical expertise, but a different tactical approach. Officials from both nations stress that no US troops will be involved in the fighting, going against widespread speculation the previous week that America might open a third front in its declared war on terrorism. But if it is war you want, and you want American forces to fight it, all you have to do is go down to Tbilisi's Internet Computer Club. Here, video game fans have been sending US commando teams into the nation's rebel hotspots for about a year by playing the popular Ghost Recon game. Welcome to Tbilisi. We have been deployed by the Georgian government to help them deal with rebels on the Russian border, reads the computer game lead-in. It's a scenario that seemed quite possible over recent weeks.
So we got some shut-eye on the flight from Bragg because now that we're here, we got a lot of work to do. Here's the situation.
Georgia's Ghost Recon fans say they were shocked at how much their game resembled events that almost happened. The game has been a runaway hit, and although American forces aren't fighting in Georgia, every night here at David Chachava's Internet Club, elite US units rampage across Georgian soil. Players at the Tbilisi club say that although they enjoy the game, it has one large drawback: you get killed off too quickly.